Right, going to another record show. Have not been to this one before. This is going to be interesting. Hamilton's record show. Heading on in now. And we are in. Looks like a good one. Check it out. Okay, so I'm back out now. I did survive. There was a lot of vendors in there, a ton of stuff. Not much that I was interested in though, really. I did find some singles that I wanted because I've been kind of on a singles tip. And I was also looking for a lot of cheap stuff. But I did actually come prepared with a list, none of which I found. Actually, I did find some OG Ramones, but not the ones I was looking for necessarily. They were kind of like later Ramones. Mostly going for 50, 75 bucks, so it was a bit out of my reach at this point, although I know it's kind of what's going for these days. But yeah, I didn't find Sacrifice, didn't find DNA, James Chance and the Contortions, Bush Tetras, Suburbia Soundtrack, Gun Club. No. But I did find some Hanoi Rocks, which was on my list. Got a 7-inch, I think, of a single that I already owned. But I'll dive into it now and I'll show you guys what I picked up. Okay, let's dive into some of the stuff that I got. I found a little local Wendy's here to show you guys the records I picked up. First up, I did get a bunch of singles. I'm on kind of a singles tip lately, if you guys haven't noticed on my videos. I get to those last, I guess. But actually the last two things that I picked up are kind of interesting. Something I totally saw recently on a YouTube video. I'm not sure who it was that was talking about this record, but somebody who showed this record is Bob Welch record, which is one of the guys from Fleetwood Mac, but it's like a side project in the 70s, 80s, I think. Total like 1977, total like yacht rock. This record was so on fire it blew the phone over basically. But yeah, French Kiss, which totally looks like a Daft Punk Bob Sinclair single or something from the 2000s. But yeah, but apparently there's some good tracks on this. Good vibes. I don't know. Let me check it out. So that was only $3. Actually, this vendor was like, if you want $3 each or 2 for $5. So to round that out and make a $5 deal, I picked up another copy of Pete Shelley's Hopeless IPN. R.I.P. Pete Shelley. I just saw Buzzcocks live recently. Obviously without Pete Shelley, who passed away, what is it, maybe 10 years now? I already have this single, but just to round out the $5 thing, I thought I'd get a double copy. So, actually, oddly enough, I heard that single before I heard any Buzzcocks, actually, when I was younger, just because I remember that 80s sort of side project. Now, the first vendor that I came across at the record fair today had some really cool stuff, including a nice OG mint copy of King Diamond's Final Portrait for $100, which is fair, but I wasn't really looking to drop a whole lot of cash on one release. So I am going to see King Diamond soon, so we will get to that when we do. Yeah, so from that vendor, I got a couple of really cool things right off the bat. They were kind of situated near the front door. They had a lot of cool like 80s section, as well as that King Diamond record. It had some punk stuff and funk, etc. World section, all nicely divided into different sections. Anyway, this is the Total Blind Buy. I had not ever heard of this band before. It's from 1987, I think, or 1985. Anyway, here it is. Scare Dogs. It's called, or Sakura Dogs. Sorry. Kind of a rare one. It's World Crunch. It's on Fundamental. So I've bought some Fundamental stuff before, which is always fun. Weird indie label from the 80s. Like Butthole Surfers was on that label, and I think Killdozer, Eugene Chadbourne. I've got some records by them on Fundamental over the years. So anyway, this one's really cool. It's got some weird fusion stuff going on. Just odd, sort of pre-alt stuff. And it was only $10. So I picked it up. Picked up a copy of that. And then to round out what I got from that vendor, I picked up a copy of Defunct. Some New York City vibes. I've been really big on New York 80s punk funk stuff. And this is Defunct. I mean, that's totally their mantra kind of thing. This is from 1982, the Thermonuclear Sweat album. It has some pretty good tracks on here. And so I'm kind of psyched to dive into it. But I think I know some of them. I just don't know them by name. So we'll see. Richard Martin in here. Vernon Reid is on guitar on this thing from In Living Color. Dave Hubbard and Clarice Taylor on vocals. Recorded in New York. A lot of cool shit. So Defunct and the Sakura Dogs kind of kicked off my buying. Then I found a cool, really nice dude vendor right afterwards. He had a lot of singles, had a lot of 80s stuff like synth pop, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, loads of Madonna, and had this still sealed, I might say, too. And had Roughneck, Everybody Be Somebody. Great release from the 90s. Masters at Work remix. It's a double pack, actually. I had it for pretty cheap, as you can see. And I don't really have this. I think I have one of them, but not the two. It's a double pack. Anyway, this is the one that samples Nights Are Ebb, yelling "Everybody Be Somebody," but with a dance beat, a dancier beat underneath. And he also had some singles, some sevens. So the only thing that was on my list that I actually picked up today, some Hanoi Rocks. This little 7 picture disc, no less, on Lipstick Records, I think. This is the Malibu Beach and Rebel on the Run. And oddly enough, though, I have this single on 12-inch already. I have Malibu Beach, so now I have the 7-inch, and it's a picture disc, so it's kind of fun. I need to get more Hanoi Rocks, but the hunt continues. And I couldn't pass up some picture sleeve 7 inches. I just watched a cool video on that, and I might do some picture sleeve video, 7 inches video soon. It's from the 80s, of course. Madonna's Probably Don't Preach, so classic track. And probably a Canadian or a US pressing maybe of the 7. It's on the flip. Pretender is on the flip. So a little bit of Madonna. And then last but not least, I did pick up some singles. Like I said, I've been kind of in a singles mode lately. These are all a buck a piece. And who knows, if I don't like them, then I'll probably sell them for $1 a piece to a shop or something. But I did get some DJ Sneak here. DJ Sneak, I dropped a glow stick on Magnetic. This is kind of his second or third wave Sneak. His earliest stuff is maybe more legendary, but his later stuff is good too. This is like kind of mid-era on Magnetic. I think that might have been his label too. And I got a bunch of stuff from Double Down Records, which was kind of a sub-label of Lowdown. Smitty and Eric Davenport. Those who know will know these DJ names. Onions and Master D. Also pretty well-known New York City funky house DJ. And some Beyonce, which I think I had this record. I might have had a couple of these before in and out of my collection. So for $1 each, I didn't want to pass it up. So that's what I got at the record fair today. Nothing too exciting, no huge OGs. There was one vendor that had like the killer stuff, all for $150, $200. Bonsai pressings, Canadian pressings, Bathory, Destruction. He had a lot of cool shit. Small amount, but everything was like super quality. But I didn't feel like dropping the $100 a record today, so ended up just spending $40 and I got all that stuff. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, little epilogue to my Hamilton adventures. In addition to the Hamilton Record Fair that I hit up yesterday, I also got a stack of wax here that's been waiting for me for a little while. It's at one of my favorite shops in Hamilton called Flashbacks. And Chad over at Flashbacks, a great guy, great little shop. If you're ever in Hamilton area, do go check it out. Small but mighty, lots of really good deals there. A lot of cheap heats, and then the odd rarity and gems in there too. So these are records that I actually bought online from Chad, from flashbacks, and he put them aside for me for many months in some instances. So let's take a look at what I got in this stack of records. Now some of these are doubles straight off the bat, more for keeping here in my off-site locations, but nevertheless some killer tracks, killer records. So got some AC/DC in this pile, Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap, slightly roughed up copy maybe, but a good deal on it. Some Sticks, classic record. The Police, Regatta de Blanc, great record. I already have a copy of this, but as you can see, for $2, couldn't pass up a double. Yes, High Voltage. I actually did not have a copy of this. One of the few AC/DC records I've been missing. Actually, I had a copy of the vinyl, but I was missing the case for a long time because I used to have it as a kid, and the cover went long gone, a long time ago. Then on some funk tip, we got a little SOS band. Great band. This has got Nothing I Know on this one. Crossfire, I'm Missing Your Love, Goldmine. I'll definitely be taking a look at that. This is a double. I have one copy of this Rainbow record so far. Great album. Sort of like their 80s, 1982 version of Rainbow, without Ronnie James Dio. This is Jolene Turner's on vocal on that one. Got some Elvis Costello. Didn't have this before, so good to have Armed Forces. Yeah, I used to have this as a kid too. One of the only Grateful Dead records I owned. Partially because I think I had it when it came out, 1987. So a little beaten up copy, but got it for cheap. And there's some boomer rock for you right there. Touch of Grey, nice track on there. Again, some more AC/DC, Highway to Hell. I have a copy of this, but this is actually a better one. Mine, the cover is quite beaten up. Some Alice Cooper, $5. Can't go wrong. I think this is during the period where Alice Cooper doesn't remember much of his output or recordings. There's a heavy alcohol and drugs. Weather Report, Sweet Nighter. Some jazz fusion here. Weather Report. I have a couple other things that I didn't have this one, so. Yes. This is the 12-inch single, or is this the album? Oh, this is something totally different, actually. This is some Yes, later Yes, in that 80s kind of era, Owner of a Lonely Heart era. But that track is not on this one, actually. I think this is a live album, the solos. Interesting. Check that out. Some classic Phil. No jacket required. $2. And last but not least, another copy, a cheaper copy of Elvis Costello, only $6. So quite a nice stack of classic rock, classic records, and will either go in my collection in Toronto or Ottawa. I've kind of got two collections going on in some cases. I'll see you guys in the next one.